Hey guys, what's going on? Shane here from Penny Caravan, talking today about the Peak Design 45-liter travel backpack and the travel line of accessories. Peak Design launched this backpack over the summer with a Kickstarter, very successful Kickstarter. It was funded in just a matter of hours, and they started shipping the bag to their backers in November, and it's now available on their website to order. I got mine in a few weeks ago, and so I just wanted to make this video to kind of share my overall impressions of the bag so far and what I'm thinking about it. I've had a chance to take it on a few short weekend trips, and so I just want to kind of give you an overlook at what the bag offers. Soon I'll be able to take it on a longer international trip, and I'll be able to come back with a full review of what I think the backpack works, how that backpack works in that scenario. When I got the bag, the first thing I noticed is, just really how sturdy the bag is overall and how durable the material is. It really feels like you can kind of throw all your gear in there and not have to worry about it being damaged. It is pretty strong and pretty stable overall. The trade-off to that is that it's a pretty heavy bag. If you're looking for an ultralight bag, this may not be the one to get because just because of how heavy and well built the bag is, especially when you add in all the accessories. I think it weighs in at around 6.5 pounds. So that becomes a problem if you're traveling on certain airlines who their carry-on requirements are more based on the weight than they are the size. If you only have like an 8 kg weight limit on the airline, and the bag it takes up is almost 3 kgs in itself, then you're gonna have a hard time fitting all your gear in there and still getting it under that carry-on limit. But if you're on a long international flight on one of the major international carriers, it shouldn't be so much of a problem. Okay, first let's take a look at the outside of the bag. Here on the front, there's just one small pocket, a little quick access pocket, good for storing small things such as a cell phone, sunglasses, things like that. Each side of the bag has these really deep pockets that are really nice for storing some bulkier items such as a rain jacket or a water bottle or a tripod. They're very, very deep. You don't have to. They're going to hold your stuff pretty securely. You don't have to worry about things falling out of those pockets. On the back side of those pockets are these nice little zipper pockets that are good for. I think the best use of that is to store a passport. So you run through the airport and you need to stuff your passport somewhere. That's a great place to kind of get it out of the way and not have to worry about losing it. On the back of the backpack are these magnetic flaps that are used to stuff the straps away. I really like that because it makes deploying the straps and putting them away quick and easy. If you do need to check the bag, you're going to want to tuck those straps away so you don't get caught in the luggage carousel. And it's nice and convenient just to flip that up and pull these straps out, and you're ready to go. And then that magnetic flap stays in place and holds it pretty well. The hip straps have a little bit of organization. The left hip strap has a small zipper pocket, not too big, maybe good for loose change, Metro Pass, things like that. And then the right hip strap just has some attachment points that you can customize to your liking with whatever additional accessories you want to use there. So again, I'm going to go ahead and tuck these away just to kind of keep them out of the way as I talk about the backpack and just to show you how easy that is. Just lift that flap up, slide that under there, snap it down. And they're out of the way. Okay, so when you have it, the straps tucked away like that, there's a nice handle here in the back so you can carry it duffel style. So if you do end up having to check this backpack and it comes out of the luggage carousel, easy place to grab it, keep on going. Along with that handle, there's handles all the way around this backpack, which is, just makes it really nice to grab and pick up, from an overhead bin, or if you're on a bus, just a lot of different grab points so you can carry this bag comfortably and kind of hoist it around. Got this one handle here on the top, one on the bottom, and then each side also has a handle. So like I said, it's just really designed to be useful in a lot of travel scenarios. All those different grab options just kind of give you the ability to really handle the backpack without having to, really fuss with it and get it, over your shoulders and all that stuff in all these different scenarios. And then as an added bonus here in the front, underneath this little flap, there are some kind of attachment straps. So if you do have a larger load, things aren't fitting on the inside, and you want to strap some stuff to the outside of the bag, Peak included these last straps to do that with. There's some attachment points here, and then you can just, say you have a sleeping mat or something like that, just lay it there and then pull these straps over, attach them here, and tighten that extra load down. And it's a great way to kind of expand the carrying capabilities of this backpack. And then when you're not using them, just tuck them back under there, snap that down, and out of sight, out of mind. So while we're here on the outside of the backpack, I want to show you this, the expandability that the backpack has. The backpack is stated to be 45 liters, but right now I have it kind of compressed down, so it's more like 35 liters. So if I was needing that extra space, these zippers right here, unzip that on each side, and that kind of pops out and gives you a little extra carry room on the inside. So I found so far that when I'm packing it, I want to keep it expanded all the way out. But then once I have everything in there, I can just kind of take those, zip them up, and then compress the backpack down a little bit more. So one of the things I really loved about this backpack was just all the different ways there are to get inside of it. The main way to access the backpack is through the back panel. Open that up and you have a suitcase style access to the main compartment, which is just this one nice big spacious compartment that can hold a lot of stuff. That's like the main way to get to access it. You know, once you get to your destination and you're trying to unpack it, or you're trying to pack and unpack it, that's probably the best way to access everything. And then on the other side, the back panel doubles as a laptop holder. So it holds a good, 15-inch laptop, maybe a little bit bigger depending on the size of the laptop. Got my 15-inch MacBook Pro here. And then inside there as well, there's also space for a tablet. So if you're carrying both an iPad and a laptop, you have plenty of carry options there. In addition to accessing it from the back, you also have side access. So each side has these zippers, and you can use side access to get to your contents. Now, if you're using one of the camera cube accessories that Peak released with this backpack, then it becomes like a nice camera carrying backpack, so you can access your camera gear from the side. But if you're not doing that, it's still nice to be able to access things from the side without having to, if you are carrying it over your shoulder, you can just kind of sling it around, zip it open, and grab what you need. So maybe you're going through security and you need to grab your toiletries out. It's nice to be able to sling that to the side, pull those out, and drop those in the security bin. And then you can also access it from the front of the backpack as well. There's kind of like a two-layer access to that. So you open up the front zipper and you have this kind of compartment. This is the expansion compartment that gives you a little extra room. And so far I found this best to kind of, those things that I kind of want to access quickly. So headphones, a jacket, a book, things like that. And then in here there's 4 different mesh pockets that you can use for their organization. So I've been using those for socks and underwear, things like that. And then the front side, been using that for small carry items, battery pack, pins, things like that. So if you want to get into the main compartment from here, you just have another zipper, open that up. Now you're in the main compartment from that side. So depending on how you have things packed, maybe it's better to get to something from the bottom or from the top. I just like having the option because really no 2 trips are the same. They all kind of pack differently depending on where you're going, what your destination is. And just being able to get to the contents of your bag in any way you choose is one of the nicest features of this bag. And I've been really enjoying that so far and think that that's something you should really keep in mind if you're considering this backpack. Again, these mesh pockets right here, you can, there's zippers on both sides so you can access the contents of these mesh pockets from either side of the bag. So as I was mentioning earlier, there's nice organizational capability, but not so much that it becomes unusable. I've used other backpacks to where there's just all this organizational capability and then it ends up bulging the backpack to where if you use that space, it takes away space elsewhere. I haven't found that to be the case here. Everything seems to be well thought out and very usable. All the space is very usable. So to me, that's kind of the highlight of a backpack when these backpacks claim to be one bag carry-ons. How much usable space do they have? So far, I really felt that this has a good amount of usable space with that main compartment there that you can fit a lot in, and these other organizational areas not competing with that main compartment for the main compartment space. All right, so let's take a look at some of the accessories that launched with the backpack. The packing cubes, I think, are phenomenal. These are the best packing cubes I've ever used. They're ultra lightweight, super durable, and they just really swallow a lot of clothes and compress it down to a nice size. This is the small packing cube right here and the medium packing cube. I feel like with these two, just those 2 packing cubes, I can pack for a really long extended trip in a variety of climates. And a simple trip, a warm climate, I can probably pack in just this 1 cube. I'm getting ready for a trip soon, and almost everything I'm taking fits just in this 1 cube, except for a couple extra pairs of pants to have packed in here. So what I really like about these, again, is how durable it is and their compressibility. So right now I have it compressed down. So you pack everything in there, nice mesh ventilation, and then you can compress it down to a nice small size, so it packs a little bit flatter. Then there's these rip open zippers that allows you to open that quickly and get inside to the contents of the packing cubes. Tons of room. You can fit a lot of clothes in the big one for sure, but even the small one holds a lot of stuff. And then on the back side of each cube is a dirty clothes area, so you can just stick dirty clothes in there to keep those separate from your fresh clothes and not have to worry about things getting kind of smelly. One of the things I liked the most about the Kickstarter was this tech pouch. I thought that was really, really smart, really well organized, really well thought out in terms of how it organizes your tech gear. As you can see, it has this sort of accordion style design. You fan it out and there's like these little slots you can stick cables in so they don't get all kinked. You just kind of separate your cables and crunch it up like that. Thought it's a pretty smart design. I was really excited about getting this. I'm a little mixed on it so far. Honestly, I feel like I can't put as much in there as I hoped I would, so I have to kind of be a little bit more minimal. Right now it's just kind of lightly outfitted just to kind of show you some of the different things you can slide in there. But also have hard drive, a mouse. If you really load this out, it doesn't close very well, so you have to be kind of smart about what you're packing in here. So I'm kind of torn on that. It hasn't worked as well as I hoped it would, but I really still like the design of it overall. Next was the wash bag, what they call the wash pouch or the toiletry kit. This I wasn't excited about because I thought I have plenty of toiletry kits, they work fine for me. But as I got it and started to use it, I thought, actually, this is actually a really great toiletry kit. It's working a lot better than I thought it would, and has become my go-to toiletry kit for packing. Mostly because it matches everything else, but because it also just works really well. It is a little bulky, but I find that it really fits everything I need it to fit and keeps it pretty organized. One of the things I really like is this toothbrush holder right here in the middle. So sometimes toothbrushes get kind of gunky, but you can just kind of slide that in there. Keep it apart from everything else. And when you need to wash it, it pops out and it's easy to clean out. Has some nice organization on each side. What I really like too is that I've been able to fit my electric razor in here, which has always been a problem with other toiletry kits I've had. So really liked the tech pouch at first and kind of soured on that, but wasn't too excited about this and have really grown to like it. So again, one of those things you just kind of need to get your hands on and figure out if it's working for you or not. Now on the outside has a nice little carry handle and then also a hook so you can hang it in the bathroom and use it. A couple nice little bonus accessories. The shoe pouch, if you take an extra pair of shoes, just keeps those separated from everything else so it doesn't get too gross. Matches the fabric of the packing cubes. Nothing super special, but just a nice bonus to have to the kit. Same thing with the rain cover. Folds up into this small little pouch and has these little clips so you can just kind of clip that on somewhere and keep it out of the way. Nice little bonus, not essential, but good to have. So the last thing it came with was the camera cube. Now they have 3 different sizes, the small, medium, and large. This is the small camera cube. I take a little bit of a camera kit with me everywhere I go, but not too much because I don't like to carry a whole lot of camera gear, just a small kit. So the small camera cube was the right one to get. If you look at the inside, you see that it comes with a couple of really nice dividers that are customizable. You can create these little shelves. So you can fit a pretty good sized camera kit in here. Large DSLR and lens, drone, things like that. But overall, I think I won't be using this for most of my trips. I can see myself using it on certain trips, such as my recent Nepal trek. If I were to use the travel backpack as my luggage, but also as my day bag on that trek, I could see myself using this in that side access configuration. So I could swing that around and grab my camera like that. But I think for most trips, I probably won't take this, and I'm going to stick to the Peak Design Everyday Sling instead. This is a bag they launched a while back. It's a really, really great small small messenger bag style for your camera kit. Also has some really nice dividers in there. If you're familiar with it and you're curious about the size, you can see that they're kind of similar size overall. The Everyday Sling is slimmer. This one's a little bit bulkier and boxier, which is why I'm not going to take it, because you could, in addition to using this as a organizer inside the backpack, you could use it as a day bag as well by adding a strap to these attachment points and carrying it as a shoulder bag. But I just feel like it's a little bit too bulky to really use that away. So I'm going to avoid doing that and stick to the everyday sling. So again, as I mentioned at the top, the entire system just gives you options for how you want to travel. As I mentioned, I think there are scenarios where I will want to use this, but most of the time I won't. But I like having that option. So what that ends up making this whole system become is really just like my one bag solution. I don't have to have a backpack for this kind of trip, a backpack for that kind of trip. I really think that that backpack can be a bag that I use on a lot of different kind of trips. And if I'm going on a trip that has, half of it's an urban city trip, the other half of it is a little bit more of an adventure trip, then that backpack can adapt to those different situations. So that's what I really like about what Peak Design has done with this backpack and with their travel line of accessories. And I think that's where the most promising, if you're looking for a backpack, that's where the selling point is. If that's the kind of traveler you are, who wants something that can be useful in a variety of situations, from urban travel to more adventurous travel. If you do carry a camera kit, and if you just want kind of that one bag that can suit a variety of purposes. So the final thing I want to mention is a couple of the negatives of the backpack. I've already mentioned the weight as a potential negative, but I also want to talk about the hip straps and the shoulder straps. Now the straps themselves are fine, it's just how you strap them together. So instead of having a buckle, there's like this little hook that you hook to the other hip strap, and then you can pull that tight to distribute that load. I'm not really sure I'm liking that so much, because it just feels like it's a little hard to get adjusted the right way, to get adjusted to where it's comfortable and it's actually supporting that load. I would have much preferred a buckle and then pull it tight from there. As it is now, you kind of have to really suck in and stretch this across and then pull it tight. And I'm never quite confident that I have it adjusted the right way to where it is taking that load off my shoulders. On the shoulder straps, again, they're well padded, they're comfortable, but the sternum strap is kind of the same situation where you have to pull all the way over and slide it in there and then pull it tight. I would have preferred a buckle in the middle where you just kind of buckle in the middle and pull it tight. I'm not sure it's a deal breaker. I'll know better after my next trip, which is going to be a longer international trip, Spain and Portugal for a couple weeks. There's going to be a lot of city travel. I'll be on the bus, train, and airports a lot. Backpack will be coming on, going off, and I'll have to pop that off every time, and I'll know how well those hip straps and those attachments are really working for me. And if I'm able to kind of throw it on pretty quickly, get those straps secure, and feel like feel comfortable carrying a heavier load. For an extended period of time, you don't want a backpack that's not supporting the load well, and the hip strap and the sternum straps are essential to making that feel comfortable and making it feel like the backpack is helping you with that load. So again, I'll know a little bit better after this next trip, and then I'll follow this up with a more thorough review where I talk about how it performed in that kind of situation. This is just sort of an overview of what the bag offers and how I'm liking it so far, but I won't know for sure until I'm on that trip and see how it performs in that situation to know whether or not this bag is a true keeper or not. I really hope it is, because I really like a lot about the backpack, and so if that passes the test, I think this will be a keeper. And it will probably dethrone my current travel backpack, which is the Osprey Farpoint 70-liter backpack that I've written about before. So hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll be back in a couple weeks with a full review of the Peak Design 45-liter travel backpack. Thanks.